bet that a team like from the future or a team like eArena, who's quite close, will get that third party off.
Big underarm nade. 𝐵𝐿𝐺 must have been spotted, clearly. Took some damage. And then the nade from Destroy does get the down onto 𝐵𝐿𝐺. It wasn't the one that we saw from 𝐸𝐴𝐿. But I think Destroy may be up above from that attic position and has been able to get a knock onto 𝐵𝐿𝐺. This could actually ignite this into a fight. You said they're not going to be able to share it? Well, I don't think they are. I think this is very much going to be neighbors that aren't friendly. 𝐵𝐿𝐺 crawling away. 𝐏𝐿's at the back. Not really close by. Flash, though, he's probably in one of the better positions to help out from that attic position to deny any kind of cross to try and get this kill onto 𝐵𝐿𝐺.
I want to know how 𝐵𝐿𝐺 got naded, because he was completely silent when we were watching him. He was the guy that's going to show his presence when someone walks into his crosshair, not someone that you would expect to get naded. His position should never have been found out. And based off that, 𝐿𝐴𝐿 had to push himself all the way back, change angles, go even deeper into the compound. And maybe this is 𝐿𝐴𝐿 slowly pushing them off these close angles, pushing them into those far two buildings, and then just suffocating them, you know, angle by angle, building by building, making sure they never actually have an advantage in the fight. They are going to allow Daytrade to get that res. FAP, star player for 𝐷𝐿𝐺, was the star player for 𝐷𝐿𝐺 in the playoffs, is going to open it up. I think maybe his first kill even onto 𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐿.
Yeah, I think 𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐿's dead here. FAP is going to get a bit of a freebie. Spots his teammate off into the distance. Not much you can really do about that as he drives away. Nice free kill though for FAP, and 𝐷𝐿𝐺 find 2 kills. Did say, start of this game, they are a team that can find frags. They got to 12. That's them in 8th position at the moment. And of course, for what it's worth,
then they'd actually be able to play through this phase 2, phase 3. I feel like I can't get through any of my points before someone just does something ridiculous, or I see panic in a little bunker. It's just absolute pandemonium everywhere.
Yeah, Flucky going to get a free kill here on the long height. A bit of a rotate position for Roy that hasn't probably gone the way that they would like, rotating through a couple of teams as well. Well, he haven't really seen that backfire just yet. On this very south side, Magnetic happened to just clean up against Reluctant Squad, but Flucky gets taken down. 𝐼𝐼𝐼𝐼. Okay, he gets himself into a good position if I could arise later on.
That's a really good point, because the side that is most likely going to be breached, that western side, is where Daytrade is, and they are being very silent. Smoke's up now, so if information, Unicorn side making that push. Another beautiful nade, not 𝐿𝐴𝐿 this time round, it's Flash. Top floor, absolute fantastic position for him to be in, and he's taken out of it. Completely destroyed. Speaking of destroyed, he's trying to fight more, trying to fight closer. Again, suffocating Daytrade. Push them back even further. Flash lost that building, so the rest of Daytrade have to push back. They've got to give up the angles they were just on. They are now officially in those 2 buildings we assumed they'd end up being in if Unicorn Cyber continue to make this push. And there's another knock on to 𝐿𝐴𝐿. It is now a 2v4. Unicorn Cyber haven't given up anything but grenades, anything but resources in this fight. They have done this so cleanly so far. That spray not so pretty from Destroy, but it's more pressure being applied to Daytrade.
Bliss close by, you can see the minimap, but they're not third-partying and they're not really just sending a stone at the compound. Might pull up onto the hill and get some information. They'll be able to scout this and see the commotion going on. That then could trigger a third party if they so please. It may be depending on this Circle 3 shift that's just happened. It's gone over towards 𝐷𝐿𝐺. It's over towards that kind of pond of it as well. A bit of water in play. A very intriguing circle, one that we don't typically see on Vikendi, as 𝐵𝐿𝐺 will eventually bleed out. It was second knock. So a faster bleed timer for him, 2 kills for UNC, and slowly winning this fight, and still no third party on this current compound. Down to just 2 remaining for Daytrade. For Unicorn Cyber, though, this has been clean, honestly, the whole way through. From when they initially even got themselves to this compound position, never over-aggressed. Now, though, with the 4-on-2 advantage, they'll start to really feel as if they can push forward, that they can clear out these angles and go for the squad wipe.
It's the final stretch. Do they close it out cleanly? Of course they do. It's a flash. Nourans can't see a thing.
Days only match 3, but these games go quicker than you realize sometimes. 𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐿 shooting out of a windmill.
Okay.
As 𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐿 gets taken down by Riz. That's probably a bit of a worrying sign for Enterforce when you're trying to push in to a team like this and they immediately just knock you down like that. Smoke went out, go behind the rock and get the res. A pure boy, it was watching over his shoulder, but that's never going to be enough to save you alone. 𝐏𝐿𝐴 with a trade onto 𝐺𝐿. Mark 12 brought out, but he too will fall. Lovely shots from Dynasty. Armory Gaming are just clean in their approach every single time when it comes to fighting. Nade thrown towards 𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐿. Very low now, and suddenly came one of the Last remaining that is at full health in good position. 𝐏𝐔𝐁𝐆 goes down to Jacob. Elsewhere, down to 51 players now. And up close with the P90 for Riz. This is a freebie. That tree can only keep you alive for so long, and eventually a bit of a misstep. Nice knock from 𝐾𝐁, but they've got the numbers everywhere. It's a 4K
Cerberus
for Armory Gaming. But here comes Cerberus, and 𝐏𝐼𝐧𝐻 can find himself a kill. Yes, he can. Got the kill onto Riz, who was already down, then follows up onto Dynasty. Talk about perfectly timed from Cerberus.
Yeah. No matter how clean it was from Armory, Cerberus was here to capitalize off that. Couple clean kills, and Armory now in a fantastic spot. FTF a little bit pressured by Bliss. I really do not want to see Bliss crumble in a situation like this. Yes, they're in a bowl. Yes, maybe FTF have the advantage, but Bliss need to show what they've come to play with in the grand finals.
Brett's going to get knocked down by 𝐿𝐼𝐧𝐻. Further bad news for Panic here in this game of 𝐿𝐼𝐧𝐻. 𝐿𝐼𝐧𝐻, their safe haven, no longer available. A double knock for FTF against Bliss now as 𝐿𝐼𝐧𝐻 brings out the G36C, who will get the easy kill onto 𝐿𝐼𝐧𝐻, and the nightmare start for Team Bliss has continued. This has just been a devastation for Team Bliss, a team with so much experience. They're going to need to use that experience to get themselves out of this hole. Represented by that donut, which is the number of points that they've gotten now through 3 games. 0.
Day after day in PCR, use 𝐾𝐁 as that space taker, and off the back of 𝐾𝐁 taking space, then you just tell Akita to go kill, essentially. That hasn't happened for Team Bliss. You would expect, given their edge playstyle as well, they're going to end up with a couple kills here and there on rotating teams or players that they catch off guard, but that has not been the case, which is incredibly odd. I don't know if it's time to really panic just yet, but yeah, the first few games have not looked clean. Back to the drawing board, not necessarily, to be honest, but certainly a mental reset. The leaders of that team need to get their armada in check, make sure that everyone's mental is truly in it. 𝐼𝐧𝐻 taking very long-range shots at TE. Another one of those teams we haven't necessarily seen pop off just yet. We know they can, but maybe not this game. Delwyn's been knocked down.
We saw 𝐿𝐼𝐧𝐻 as well get taken out. 4 kills for them, no placement points. Happy with the Mark 14. Already 7 kills for From the Future. They want to capitalize even more, sensing that they've got a bit of control over this lobby over the first couple of games. This will be their 3rd good game in a row. That's that consistency word that we'd like to use for From the Future. In the blue at the moment for Cerberus, but driving out of it. 𝐿𝐼𝐧𝐻 peeking the rock, and Happy finds that knock. That is an insane angle. You know, largely covered by the rock. 𝐼𝐧𝐻 now in position though for TE. You kind of mentioned we expect more from them. A team that can certainly be a contender. Well, they've got themselves dead center of the circle. I'm not sure if they really want to be. It could be quite open, and a lot of teams can have very good vision of their position.
That's the thing, right? Dead center, but they're on the low side of a hill. I've just chipped off of them. But where do they actually end up? 𝐿𝐼𝐧𝐻, this is the man I told you before we started was dominating for Valee Thai. He was the absolute hard carry for Valee Thai, and his performance continues today. That bad timing from the first aid won't even matter. Latte showing up again and again.
They're only playing as a 3 at the moment, losing Thanawa early, but still enough that they think they can capitalize with this third party. That's coming a little bit late. It has allowed the revive on the Latte. Can he go strong again? The spray from Thunders was able to at least get through onto Latte. 𝐾𝐿, good trade. 2-on-1. Not impossible to think 𝐾𝐿 could close this out, but a lovely swing from 𝐿𝐼𝐧𝐻 through the window. Gets the kill for Magnetic, but not before.
Little information as to what's going on with the peak of this hill. Nice shots from Xavier at the end of this little bridge down there behind the box. He's had to go prone, but he's thrown a nade. I feel like that could do a decent amount of damage. It's at least got the knock. What more can Roy do?
Oh, unfortunately, Xavier does eventually go down, though, to the nade of Van Nye. I think he was able to throw that one just prior to that nade being thrown from Xavier. 𝐿𝐼𝐧𝐻 down as 𝐿𝐼𝐧𝐻 is still up. We get the knock on to Delwyn, and that tree's not going to be able to save him. Delwyn does go down. 𝐿𝐼𝐧𝐻 can get revived as well before that blue starts moving soon. So Magnetic should stay.
Take this game out, or at least get themselves into that top 4 and potentially put themselves in top 2, top 3. And now they have full information on Magnetic as well. The terrain's going to allow Magnetic to get closer. Yeah, you're gonna have to reload that if you want to use the smoke that's inside it. He's gonna pop a smoke of his own behind him. Start pushing up. I don't think this is gonna be third-partied. I don't think it's possible. I think FTF obviously is the closest, but what can FTF really do with the other teams they also have to take into account in this endgame? This should be a free couple kills for eArena.
Yeah, and now from this POV of Cerberus, you can clearly see FTF will have a hard time pushing up that hill. the calls of that duo of Cerberus already shooting at FTF anyway. Imagine if you try and start climbing up a hill very slowly, making yourself even more vulnerable. A bit of a distance between the teams, but still makes it difficult to push further afield. I think eArena have got 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 also watching the back flank too. 𝐏𝐔𝐁𝐆 actually getting a knock onto 𝐒𝐿𝐿𝐿.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, even further reason as to why FTF can't really third party onto eArena. Roy also as a duo. That's a pretty wounded lobby for the most part. I think FTF will obviously be able to get this revive, as we can clearly see here from Happy's POV. 𝐿𝐿𝐿 back up. eArena, jump spot from 𝐿𝐿𝐿, trying to find some information. It is only the duo for Magnetic. It makes it a little bit more difficult to try and take good position, take control of this fight. Smokes continue to just get thrown out. Nade in hand from 𝐿𝐿𝐿, throws that towards 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 location as well from Tigger. This second one, a little bit of a throw on that one. I don't know how that didn't do any damage to 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿, and he's able to survive as well. Gets the down to Tigger. There's a second push up as well. Flocky with a frag grenade. He's got 4 of them available. 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 down anyway. 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 opted to push and will get rewarded for doing so. eArena have fallen apart. 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 and 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 stayed on the back. They were never even close. It essentially was a 2-on-2, and Magnetic were able to win it. 8 kills for them now, into the top 4, and eArena will be kicking themselves.
Oh, that's all Tigger. He had the prone player dead to rights, and the spray got away from him. If he gets that knock, it's a 2v1, and Magnetic probably fall. Lucky tries to trade it back, and eArena come out on top. Oh, that is heartbreaking for the team that, like you said, has been in it every
So Magnetic, Cerberus, and eArena along with Roy. No team besides FTF has 4. FTF the only one with now 4 up. And 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 has a chance to maybe get it down onto 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿, but he lets that moment get away from him. Missing the initial shots in the blue, taking unnecessary damage. Roy now pushing the vehicle up towards the tree. Bit of cover, but it's moving away from him. It's never fun.
Put the handbrake on.
Don't know if he spotted Flocky either. Should know where Cerberus are located. Expendables throughout all of this as well, Russell, have done little to make their presence known. What a frag grenade as well from Flocky. 𝐷𝐿𝐿𝐿 just wanting to try and get better position in the zone, and eventually meets his demise at the hands of that frag grenade. Flocky and 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 have put in a tremendous shift now for Magnetic. And another knock. 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 takes down 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿. Expendables now getting pushed by FTF, and it's all starting to kick off here in Phase 8.
Oh, the Expendables, yeah, you said it. They haven't really had any impact in this late game now. They don't really have a choice. They've got to start peeking up, stopping teams around them from looking down into their bowls. I mean, they're one nade away from falling out of the points. I said it, and there you go. Perfectly on cue. FTF with that beautiful nade. TE down and out FTF, and eArena now fighting. Magnetic still very much in the picture. I don't know how, I don't know where this has come from, but this duo is doing incredibly right now. eArena will be kicking themselves that they let this opportunity slip for themselves. FTF also looking incredibly strong in this late game, helped out by the fact that eArena's only 2 up. Smokes in the backside to stop Cerberus from taking any shots at them from a long range. 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 stayed down on that low ground too. None of these guys have lost their lives just yet. This spray has to be perfect. It's like a triple headshot from 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿. eArena, 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 now trying to get involved. Traded back though from 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿. Finally finished off. Cerberus down and out. What more can FTF do here? 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 on the high ground. It's only 1. It has to be super clean from FTF.
Yeah, certainly agree with you there. From the future, can they find the victory here? Spotting shot. Flocky with the AWM. That's now 12 kills for Magnetic. FTF might have the numbers, Russ, but right now, the way that Magnetic are playing this game, it's really difficult to count them out.
Top-seeded team, this is why. Even as a duo, if he hit that one, I would have lost it.
Oh my goodness.
Positional advantage, that's the problem, right? Magnetic have nothing in terms of FTF's positioning.
Yeah.
Nothing that they can do against it.
FTF didn't get a win in the playoffs. An opportunity here in the finals where it matters even so much more to get this chicken dinner, coupled with the 13 kills they currently have. They spot Flocky with a molly in hand. Not sure why. Maybe expecting them to be a little bit closer. They're still quite a distance away, but now starting to make headway. Initial knockdown at the hands of 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿. Happy, can't quite fall. The spray so close, and then overwhelmed. Now Flocky, the last one left, but if the rock trick will do the trick, and from the future,